Hello everybody, in this tutorial I'll explain you how to build a very simple and cheap but yet effective slime farm that works for single slime chunks as well as quadruple. If you want to know how to find a slime chunk, it's quite easy. Of course you can just dig a big hole and see where the slimes spawn, but if you want to have it faster, enter your seed in the slime chunk finder app in chunkbase.com. and it will show you a map of all the slime chunks. That's how I found that quadruple slime chunk here in that cave. One way to make you the whole digging process easier is to show the chunk borders with F3 plus G. Thus you can just dig until you hit the yellow line. The chunks that I'm looking for are behind that wall. So let me clear the area and then explain you the building process. It's the safest if you dig that at Y11, because then you usually are on top of the lava lakes and then you can just fill all of them with sand. As you can see, some of them are quite deep. Of course, if you are in need in obsidian, you can as well use water to turn it into obsidian and then mine it all out. But that takes a lot longer than just placing the sand and then taking a shovel. Next you want to find either the center if you build a quadruple slime chunk farm, or if you use only 1, 2 or 3 chunks, still the place where those chunks connect or the corner of one of those chunks. No matter if the farm is only 1 chunk, still you want the next step to be covering all 4 chunks. So from that connecting point that is marked by that blue line of the chunk borders, you want to count 4 in each direction, which gives you a spot here, and the same on the other sides, and dig down the whole area to Y5. And then you choose one wall where you want the items to go, and there you dig a 2-wide tunnel all the way out of the farm. Of course you can take advantage to gather all the resources, and of course I guess you do want to do some decoration. It's up to you how far out you go with the tunnel. The minimum of course is that it has to go behind the end of that chunk, so the items are really transported out of the farm. Now you want to build a 1 high wall with any stone here, just because it would have been enough to dig down to Y6 and then only 6 by 6. And then on top of that you want to place a row of magma blocks, and that you want to surround fully later, but for the moment we have to be able to walk around. Now you want to make yourself an infinite water source somewhere. I'll do that outside of the actual farm. An infinite water source is just a 3-wide pool where when you take water of the middle it always refills, because of the way water behaves in Minecraft. Now you want to place 2 buckets of water in those 2 corners, and like that every item will be transported to here. And if you have, now you should have some ice, and you need some stone pressure plates, and then you place the ice. Packed ice is better because it doesn't melt here, and then the pressure plates here, and that will make every item come behind that, so you can pick it in a second water stream. That's why we need that infinite water source here. And so then you place the next 2 buckets of water here, and at the end of that bucket of water, which in that case would be here just because that's how far it goes, you place again the ice, and on top of the ice the pressure plates. With that you just have to follow the pattern that the floor allows you, so just come up with a system that works. You do also want to put some light here to prevent mob spawning. I usually put it on top of the water source or the pressure plates. You do want to search one spot where you place some magma blocks in the floor of the water stream. Could be here or somewhere further ahead, because occasionally small slimes fall into the water stream. At least I have had that twice, and like that you can still kill them. Could be that they spawn down here, I don't know. So you want that actually the closest possible to the collection area or wherever you have a water item elevator. When you're done with that, you want to close that corner, add a second row of magma blocks. You need a total of like 1 stack, including what you place inside. When you've done that surrounding, then you want to build up 2 and place iron bars on top and then remove it. And if you sneak, which means you will not be hurt, then you build a rail all the way around that hole. That rail allows items to go through, but it doesn't allow the slimes to fall into the water stream. After you've built that fence, you want to dig out one line further, then a step of 1 and then all the way up. That is where you place the water that makes the slimes actually be pushed onto the magma blocks. You see, of course, you need 2 more. And now you want to do 2 things. One is that you want to make the fence go further up, and second is that you want to surround that by 1 block higher in order to prevent slimes from jumping back onto the spawning platform. The fence should go all the way to the roof, because otherwise you'll have slimes from the upper spawning platforms that you'll eventually build jump onto the fence on top. Of course you could close it and thus get rid of that problem, but it does still mean they will sit on top instead of dying as fast as possible and allowing the next slimes to spawn. So it's just better to not do that. The cage in the center has that size, so you are able to place iron golems. If you want to do that, you would add, let me quickly bridge out over there. You would add here iron bars to the center. If the fence goes 2 more up, then just place the iron golem here in the center. We'll do that later. If you don't need iron golems, because actually the farm of course works without, then you can just skip that center piece and just build the fence going up. So if you do want to have the iron golem, you just place a block somewhere here, then 1 iron block on top, remove that block down here, place 2 more iron blocks like that. Then you place a carved pumpkin or a jack-o'-lantern, and there you have your iron golem. And you can stack them on top of each other by just making 1 layer in between with those additional iron bars. What those iron golems do is that they accelerate the rates a little bit, because any slime that makes it until here will try to go more quickly towards the iron golem. The last step is to light up the area. I found that if from each corner I go 2 blocks in each direction and then space them with 5 blocks, well 4 blocks in between every 5th block, and the same from the outside wall, it works pretty well to light up all the area enough to only spawn slimes. And then the last bit is to make yourself an access to the tunnel that you made. Here, for example, I could just wait for the slimes to spawn, and then the slime balls would just be transported to me by the water stream, as you can see here. You got different options to make the farm more effective. The most important one is to light up all the caves in the surrounding area. The second one would be to place additional spawning floors. Then you would just 3 above, so 1, 2, 3, like here would be the next spawning level, so the slimes that are 2¼ blocks high can still spawn and jump around. And that you can do until you reach level 40, because that's the area where slimes spawn. Instead of the iron bars, of course, you can also use window panes. That maybe looks nicer, and you can decorate the place to your liking. So as you can see, I built myself a second layer. I replaced the iron bars with glass. I made a glass wall for myself to look into the farm, and I built myself a water elevator to bring up the items. So all the items end up here and are then transported upwards. It's quite easy. You just make a column of water source blocks with the soul sand on the bottom, and then all the slime blocks end up in those chests, which gives me plenty of time to go AFK. So I hope the tutorial was helpful to you. See you next time. Bye bye.